Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Once upon a time, there was a fearless young Lombax who gained fame and fortune by ridding the galaxy of Emperor Percival Tachyon and Captain Romulus Slag.
You ever elect to partake in a piece of media that starts off decent and just when it feels like things are ramping up, it ends? Well, if you put 2 and 2 together already and figured out that I'm referring to Ratchet & Clank Quest for Booty for the PlayStation 3, you would be correct. Okay, so in order to bring up the plotline of this game, I have to spoil the last game. So if you haven't played the prior entry in this series, Tools of Destruction, and care about the plot, now would be a good time to leave and come back once you have. That said, this game picks up shortly after Clank's abduction by the Zoni, and is narrated by Pegleg Pete, one of the evil pirates I glossed over in the Tools of Destruction video. So in that game, we kind of decapitated his leader, Captain Slag. He promptly declared Ratchet his new captain, and that was that. From the outside looking in, Pegleg Pete appears to be like Pinky from Pinky and the Brain. Rather dumb, but with a heart of gold. However much heart a robot can actually have, that is. So with that explanation covered, we find out that Ratchet and Talon revisited a supercomputer from the last game called Iris, which leads them to uncover a clue. Darkwater, a dead pirate, was rumored to hold a key to the Zoni dimension, setting the stage for a tropical, pirate-themed romp in the Ratchet & Clank universe. Upon meeting some pirates which fall for Pete's impression of the fearful Slag, our protagonists are shot from a cannon to Hulafar Island. And after restoring power there and meeting up with the smuggler again, we catch wind of a few MacGuffins needed to help find Darkwater's sunken ship. Pete catches up with our crew and helps us navigate to the Morrow Caverns, where Pete unshockingly betrays Ratchet and Talon by popping Slag's head on Darkwater's body, causing the corpse to come alive and suffer from the two personalities fighting for control. With a team of ghost pirates, they steal the MacGuffin and get away, and within the next hour, Ratchet beats them and gets it back. So, the MacGuffin is plugged into a device back on Hulafar, which gives us a brief glimpse of Clank and the returning Dr. Nefarious, and gives Ratchet the coordinations for the Brigus Nebula. And it's at this point the game ends. That's that! I didn't keep the plot summary that brief just because that's what I usually do. That's more or less everything that happens. I knew before going in that Quest for Booty was a shorter stopgap title, but the experiences I had seen online were people saying they had 4 to 6 hour playthroughs. I beat it in 2.5 hours, and I didn't feel like I was skipping any vast swaths of content. As a matter of fact, I felt like I didn't leave too many stones unturned. I idle on this point a little bit because I worry just a smidge that I just actually wound up missing something huge along the way. So despite feeling like a bit more of a heavily budgeted game, animations aren't as polished, the shorter overall game, the presentation of voiced scenes, etc., Quest for Booty shakes things up a pretty fair amount for the series without straying too far from familiarity, which is welcome. With Clank gone, the game employs some new tricks to keep things lively, such as more platforming-oriented puzzles and movable platforms to tease the brain ever so slightly. And it's nice. Nothing extraordinary, but they are nice new elements that don't feel really out of place and are implemented in basic fashions. I see that these introductions were carried over into A Crack in Time, so I'm looking forward to their utilization evolving with that game. As for the arsenal of weapons in Quest for Booty, it's just a smaller pool carried over from Tools of Destruction, so there's not a lot to say there. The environments in this game switch between flying pirate ships, tropical islands, and dark caverns. These have pretty much been touched upon throughout the series already, so nothing really feels too out of place, which is kinda nice. In fact, the entire notion of a pirate-themed Ratchet game is pretty sensible considering how much of a part pirates played in the last game. But, overall, there's really not too much to say. If you're like me and playing through all of the Ratchet titles, it's hard to argue for skipping Quest for Booty. But if you're worried about burning out, you might actually be safe passing it and coming back to see what you missed later on. As far as plot relevance goes, frankly, A Quest for Booty adds, Ratchet finds out where Clank went, and that's about it. A playthrough will only run you a few hours and will end just when it seems like it's ramping up to a healthy stride to carry itself onward for a few extra hours that, unfortunately, just don't exist. A plus side to this game being shorter though is that it makes it ideal to pick up and play when you just want some quick Ratchet action or just to be able to blow through a title in this series easily in a night. If you've played Quest for Booty, let me know what you think. Next time on Learning to Love PlayStation, however, we'll discuss Ratchet & Clank, A Crack in Time. This has been MykonosFan, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.